Essay. All right. So honestly, what we refer to as historical present tense. All right. Let's just see what the historical present tense is, because maybe with stuff like this, this is what you would use. Okay, so basically, something that happened in the past, you will refer to it as something that is happening now. So that's the terms that you used in that essay. Let's go to the essay and just look at the examples of the tenses that you used. Okay, so it should be on your screen any minute now. Great. I don't think it is that deep, says Tommy. So you see your tenses there. It's present, is present, right? Okay, there's quite a lot of those. That's fine. However, this is not an essay, Bonolo. You wrote a short story. You wrote a short story. Okay. That is pretty cool. I think you write very well, but except here and there you don't have. Just want to point out one thing that I picked up. Like here. Right. Okay. This is supposed to be one sentence. Né? Tommy was standing outside and he got an idea that he should go hiking with his friends. So he sends each one of them a message, and then you don't punctuate. There's no full stop there. Use that. Jake and Rochelle reply, which is another example of a present. Jake and Rochelle reply and agree with Tommy's idea. Okay, here you used a full stop. You punctuated here. Cool. But there's just a few examples where you just didn't use punctuation at all. Okay, great. Let me just show you basically how you would go about writing an essay. Oh, enjoy the one I'm breaking there, so I can adjust my router there. There's a magic I performed.
And so the essay, I wrote it with the tips we were given in class.
It's not an essay, it's a short story.
So, that's the thing. I used the tips we were given. Because it says in an essay, we should have a main character, a villain, and a problem.
No, not an essay, a story.
It says essay tips. The heading and the things we're giving. It says essay tips.
When are they marking it?
No, I'm only writing on the 24th.
Okay, ke kopa tomorrow, just seek clarity from the English teacher. All right. This is what I picked up. You can say, Matanchi-san, says this. Now I'm confused. Can see what's happening. Bye-bye.
Okay, sir.
Just take whatever I say now and then explain this to the teacher that this is what my tutor says.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, the introduction, hey, the first thing obviously is the introduction. Your introduction was quite catchy, quite frankly. If it was a book, it would write off. It makes me ask questions, which is good. About, all right. It's provocative, right? I don't think it's that deep. Obviously, now I don't know. I want to know what's not that deep. Who's saying this? Who? Why? Oh, I really like the introduction. It's very provocative, like, because people don't have time to read and stuff like that. But when I read something like this, I'm like, man, let me just leave everything I was doing and just try and find out who it's a. So I like that you did very well on that one. So, okay, cool. Yeah, that's where we are. The first paragraph of your essay should always be an introduction, but it should carry, maybe let me try and make it a bit larger. About Tababone these days. Now, it should carry the explanation of the title and give an insight. So in your case, you guys were given the title, yeah, tragedy. So you need to tell us what tragedy is. So you could say tragedy is a ba 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 ba. All right. Sometimes maybe you can take a cop out, which I'm not a big fan of, but people do this a lot. According to the Oxford concise dictionary, tragedy is da, 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 and then you just write the meaning of tragedy, the dictionary, a definition of tragedy. Okay, so sorry, Phile, an idea. I don't know. I think you would probably want to start with a quote, maybe from Julius Caesar. I don't know, where the Ides of March said the sooth. So yeah, this sounds to me like something you would say, right? You wouldn't want to, right off the bat, tell us exactly what this is all about, okay? But then, great poet and playwright, William here made this kind of literature. Okay, cool. Right. I would also go with this type of a beginning, right? Introduction. So now people would want to know what type of literature is that, right? But people who have read Julius Caesar, this is a quote from Julius Caesar, right? You know that Julius Caesar was killed on the 15th of March. And there had been like a sangoma of a sort, right? Who had told him, you must be aware of the Ides of March. So the Ides of March basically is like uh would be the middle of March, which would be the 15th of March. In that sense, that's the day he was going to die. They had prophesied that to him. Okay. But Julius Caesar is an example of a tragedy. Now, what is a tragedy? When you were doing your research, what did you find the definition of a tragedy as?
So I went with my knowledge. I didn't go deep into the research as I took the topics we used to write in class.
Okay,
So
cool.
and I read the stories I used.
There are a lot of definitions of a tragedy, but it's a story where the protagonist dies. So your protagonist is staring like a, so that's your lead, whoever. Yeah. So eventually this person is going to die. This person Morata. So that the story is about. Petelong dies. Julius Caesar dies. He gets killed. He's betrayed by his own friend, and they kill him, and because he was a king, they kill him, and then they take his throne. All right. So that would be the tragedy. There's like a million and one different types of tragedies you can think of, but they all boil down to one thing, that is a story where the protagonist dies. Let's see what Google says. That's for me, that's what the tragedy is. But let's just say, let's see what Google says the tragedy is. Okay, so the one that's relevant to us would be this one, right? A play dealing with tragic events and having an unhappy ending, especially one concerning the downfall of the main character. So here they do not just limit it to death. So it could just be a downfall of some or other way, right? It could be this person was way up there. I Blew It is a tragedy. Like the TV show. This person had so much money and then, spent all of it, all of a sudden does not have anything. That's fall from grace. So maybe we could attribute it to that, fall from grace. Or, what's about I don't have one man you know, but things like that. It is a tragedy. It would have a role. So what we have done here is just to introduce what our essay is about, right? It should carry the explanation and just give us what is to come. So now you need to do this. Give us the insight of what is to come. I don't know what TV you watch, but I know a lot of people your age watch like music shows, right? No, the popular ones these days, channel or whatever, right? Before they would start, it would be like, we have a brand new one from Maporisa featuring Babes Wotumo, Skomota, let's just say, Maporisa featuring Skomota, and Casper Joves just got married. We have a scoop on that, things like that. Before, when the show starts, they tell you what you can expect in the show. Again, they are called throw forwards in media. In the media, you call them throw forwards. Do you do Sesotho at school? No.
Not Afrikaans.
Okay, cool. I wanted to give you the Sesotho word for it. So to throw forward, we just transporting you there. Just in case you wanted to check if today's show has what you want to watch, You know, you will just watch those few seconds, like, today I'm going to work at test, but later on today, and then you move on to something else, right? Or you were not quite sure if you wanted to watch the show, like, hey, whatever, you like what I'll change. How, but to work at it like this, but wow, if you didn't share like, so that's what I throw forward is, right? It's like a trailer, you know, if you're into movies, it's like, when we were young, they were called what? Oh, upcoming attractions, you know. Oh, I haven't been to a cinema in a very long time. But uh, before you would watch a cinema or a DVD or whatever, they would show you
Yes,
other movies that you can watch
mm,
besides this one that you're going to watch, right? Just so that
yes,
after watching this one, now you know which one you're going to watch, like the movies that are coming through and everything. I don't know how the cinemas work today, but basically that's just what it used to be. Even at the end, I know with YouTube videos, because I do a few YouTube videos, when you end the YouTube video, you will like say, okay, if you liked what you just saw right now, there's another video similar to that. That's a throw forward. So because it's an academic uh thing, you cover in this essay, uh, I will uh, inform you about the genre of tragedy and how it has been used in the past by writers to entertain, whatever, right? Maybe, and uh, pass on push out life lessons, right? Like what I was telling you already. Well, Julius Caesar was betrayed by his own friend, right? So that is a life lesson. Man, never trust friends or whatever the case may be. Okay, so this is it. Uh, in this essay, I will show you about the genre on how it has been used by writers to entertain and pass on knowledge. Or maybe you could do like three things. You could entertain, uh, educate, and pass on. No, educate. Entertain it, pass on. Yeah. So three things, right? So now already I know in my first paragraph I'm going to talk about um tragedy as entertainment.
mm,
Yeah, I can, because I've already
mm,
included it in my throw forward. So it's as entertainment, and then here tragedy as information. Okay, so this will be okay. You're not gonna do like me and have capital letter, and then more data will be, like I said, personal information will be like educate. Okay, tragedy as uh, okay. So let me highlight this as well. My nose is blocked, man. Never mind me. Tragedy as entertainment, right? So you could say, like it, just streetwise. Let's say, uh, quite ironic that human beings enjoy seeing one another die, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, quite ironic. Or we could say it's quite ironic. Nobody wants to die. But you want to see, you want to watch people die. Have you ever been at the scene of an accident? You're driving past, maybe like Bethlehem, there's an accident somewhere. Oh, people stop their cars and go and watch. Why? I will feel like I'm all when Why? Yeah, I never stopped the accident there. Yo, I don't, because of that. But people like that. Like even in the olden days. Let me just blow my nose.
That
No, I admitted myself. Don't worry. So even in the olden days, in the Bible, like you know how they killed Jesus Christ. They didn't just kill him.
yes, sir.
You know, they had to go to the top of a mountain where everybody could see him, put him on a cross, nail him on the cross, so that it was like for everybody's entertainment. We see that a lot. You know, people being humiliated, people enjoy it, and even on TV, we they don't necessarily kill people physically, but you watch a lot of shows where they make fun of people, ridicule people. Basically, you are killing that person, sometimes emotionally, sometimes mentally. Because look at how when people, when maybe like a teacher would make fun of you in class, né?
Yes, sir.
High sharp, like male would be like male, like right? Even other people, ha bona batho ga ta o actela, like ga le babedi le
Yes, sir.
mara ga qala wa bona batho nje ga ta why skete se sa why ole so why like this guy can do wrong this girl. So that's that.
Yeah.
We just like bringing one another down as human beings, and people like enjoy doing it, enjoy inflicting pain on others, enjoy killing, but some just enjoy seeing it. It could be in a fiction type of manner, like when we grew up kadi movies of karate. I realized that it's not a popular genre anymore. Or Bruce Lee, Van Damme, you just know the names, but maybe it's not really your thing. But right now, there's still action, but it's not like what it used to be back then. You just watch movies. Jackie Chan. Well, that's that.
Yeah.
To the extent where yes, this guy is inflicting pain, physical pain to these people. It didn't feel like harm or raha, like we would feel pain for that other guy. We actually wanted him. Like then there was Rambo, Schwarzenegger, Batunya Batu and stuff like that. Very popular. So we enjoy seeing people die. It's quite a dark side of human beings, but that's what we do, right? Then we'll say,
I have a question.
yeah, sure.
So how many paragraphs should an essay have?
It depends. For me, it would depend on the number of words you are required to write. So for this one, for me, right, how many? It's 300, right? So it's 8, 16, 24, 36, right? It's how many? So if your introduction, say for instance, has 80 words,
Yes, sir.
and then your paragraph here has, let's say, 100 words, so we have 180 already. This one has paragraph 200, that's 280. Maybe let's just go 80, 80, 80, 80. Let's see how it goes with that. I remember I was doing this with the other kids. So this is 8, introduction 80, paragraph 180, 160, 240, and multiply 80. That's 360 already. So then, let's make an introduction shorter then. let's say introduction is 40, conclusion Leona 40. Right. Okay. So how like that 40, 40. So that's 80, 80.
It's
We're going to
320.
have to continue this tomorrow. So the introduction is 40. So that's 4. If my paragraph 1 has 80 words, that's now 120. Paragraph 2, 80. That's now 200. Paragraph 3, if I'm 80. Excuse me. 4, 120, 200, 280 plus 40.
320.
Okay. Okay.
320.
Yeah, this works, Mama.
Yes, sir.
This really works. So you can do it this way. So in this way, you'll have 1. The introduction will be 1. Paragraph 1 will be 2. Paragraph 2 will be 3. Paragraph 3 will be 4. So this is 5 paragraphs.
So we are required to have 6 to 8.
Paragraphs.
Yes.
Then
And our introduction must be attention grabbing, and it mustn't have statistics.
this is attention grabbing.
Yes, that is attention grabbing.
Yeah. But I feel like that's your style of writing. You are very provocative. So I'm also like that when well, not all the time, but usually I like to shock people and then just like, I know it's not that bad. How? Well, take it from there. So this can work, you know. You can just play around with it. Just try and find out about other tragedies, examples of tragedies. And I don't know, this just came to my mind about the Ides of March and everything, right? So that's that. Look, just play around with the number of words, okay? So if it's 4, maybe you have 30 here, and then just move with 60 going downwards and everything. But, the idea is the same. We're running out of time now. I'm just gonna, where was I? All right, so let's go to the throw forwards. So Baite, you should have 6. So your throw forwards here should have 5, because each throw forward is a body of a paragraph. I can. So it will entertain, inform. You can also say shock, reflect, and so the first one would be tragedy as a form of entertainment, because people like seeing people die. I just, explained that. But information, right? As much as Julius Caesar was about, so this is the second paragraph. Let's just go, it should explain. Yeah, as information, right? So we can say as much as the play Julius Caesar was about a powerful man that abused its right? Cool.
Yes,
Let's see if you're going to use the name of a thing, it has to be in italics. Right? Power also served to inform us about the inner workings of the empire. We read this to hear about that. Mark Anthony, this was whatever. Julius Caesar was married to these people were like, Julius Caesar is now too powerful. We need to bring him down so we can, take over his throne. But also it just showed us how the Roman Empire worked, women were not equal to men, women were not allowed to participate. There were jobs that women were not allowed to do, things like that, right? It informed us. Now that I've read Julius Caesar, when we talk about the Roman Empire, even in different things, I can always say, hi, man, when I was reading that book, Julius Caesar, this woman, the wife of Julius Caesar, what I said, I say so. So it's just now informing us. So that's just tragedy as information, not necessarily intended, but say usual. Okay. So the other paragraph would probably be about the shock factor, right? How tragedy shocks you. Right? Honale, Macbeth. Have you read Macbeth?
No.
What literatures are you guys reading now? Like books?
We did the mock, and then we did Romeo. We are currently doing Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy, right? I don't know how far you are with it, but at the end, it has a very sad ending. So that is also. Are you done with it?
I'm done with it, but in class we are not.
You're not done. Okay, so you now know the ending, right? So it's in line with everything that we are talking about right now. People die. Okay, cool. So the shock factor of it. So you can just maybe refer back to Romeo and Juliet and what shocked you about the book or the play in this case. Oh, what would you say shocked you?
I'd say the way the families fought, like they fought way too much in the books. They were against Romeo and Juliet's love, and if one of the family members looked outside the box, they would have seen that if they got married, the free going up between the two families would have been over back in the days. And if the two families had sat down and talked over their differences, this wouldn't have been happening.
Okay. So that could be your paragraph 3, right? What shocked you about the the whole thing? So since you're doing quite a few other paragraphs that we had said reflect. You just mentioned the reflect. Or you know what these people just needed to do was to sit down and think this through. That's all they needed to do. Right? Don't be so hasty, don't like grudges and everything. And you are making this about you as well. This is not about you, it's about Romeo and
About
Juliet. Yeah, things like
yes.
that. Now, passing on crucial life experiences and lessons is what can you take from this tragedy, yeah, Romeo and Juliet, and apply it in your life when? Is there anything that you looked at and you feel like, yo, what's so high Kappa? This thing, yeah, Romeo and Juliet,
Okay.
you don't necessarily
For
have
the
to
first
answer,
part of the book, sir?
you don't necessarily have to answer it now, but that's how you think you should think about it.
Okay.
It could be about
Yes.
it's not just about me and this person. It could be about the families. Will my mom get along with his mom? Will my father get along with his? So I wonder what marriage is. Whether you are with this person or morada, but will my sister or my brother get along with his siblings? Because Akira is now a marriage of families instead of a marriage of individuals. Let's just call it a night now. Tomorrow tatare hatella hape, woman. Le wena o so o botsitse your teacher hore are we on the right track or not?
Okay, sir.
Good night, Manolo. See you tomorrow.
Good night, sir.